In an age where gods and mortals walked the earth together, one man's name would forever be etched in legend: Achilles, the hero of heroes. Born to divine parents, his legacy was destined to surpass even the gods themselves. His mother, Thetis, was a powerful sea goddess among the 50 Nereids, while his father, Peleus, was the mortal king of Phthia in northern Greece. But Achilles was no ordinary mortal. His bloodline, a blend of godly and royal heritage, promised greatness beyond imagination. Achilles' story begins with a divine love triangle. Thetis, a goddess of unparalleled beauty and power, was courted by two of the mightiest gods, Zeus, the king of the gods, and Poseidon, the god of the sea. However, a prophecy foretelling that the child of Thetis would surpass his father in glory, potentially toppling the gods themselves, forced Zeus and Poseidon to abandon their pursuit. To prevent their potential downfall, they allowed Thetis to marry Peleus, a mortal king. Yet, before their union, Peleus was forced to endure a series of trials by love, wrestling with Thetis as she transformed into fire, water, and wild beasts. His determination won her heart, and their grand wedding, a union of divine and mortal blood, was celebrated by the gods, except for one, Eris, the goddess of discord. Eris, angered by her exclusion from the wedding, cast a golden apple into the gathering, inscribed with the words, "To the fairest." Hera, Athena, and Aphrodite each claimed the apple, sparking a rivalry that would eventually lead to the Trojan War. Thetis and Peleus's marriage, though filled with love, unwittingly set the stage for conflict and chaos that would echo throughout history. From the very start, Thetis sought to ensure her son's immortality. She immersed Achilles in the mystical waters of the river Styx, which flowed through the underworld, rendering him nearly invulnerable. But in holding him by his heel, she unknowingly left the one spot on his body vulnerable: his Achilles' heel. To further shape her son's destiny, Thetis entrusted his upbringing to the wise centaur Chiron, who lived on the sacred Mount Parnassus. Chiron, known for his expertise in combat, medicine, and music, taught Achilles everything he needed to become a hero, an extraordinary warrior, and a learned scholar. As Achilles grew older, Thetis became increasingly anxious about his role in the Trojan War. A prophecy foretold that the Greeks could not win the war without him. Desperate to shield her son from the dangers of battle, she disguised Achilles as a girl and sent him to the island of Skyros, where he lived under the care of King Lycomedes. There, Achilles found love in Deidamia, the daughter of the king. Though their love was secret, it would have lasting consequences. Deidamia bore Achilles a son, Neoptolemus, whose destiny would be shaped by the blood of gods and the passion of his parents. However, fate had other plans for Achilles. The cunning Odysseus, ever resourceful, embarked on a mission to find Achilles. Disguised as a merchant, Odysseus presented gifts to the royal family of Skyros: luxurious jewelry, fine clothing, and, among them, weapons. When Achilles instinctively reached for the sword and shield, his identity was revealed. Now, the hero of legend was called to fulfill his destiny. Thetis presented her son with two paths: a life of fleeting glory, but early death, or a long life of obscurity. Achilles, driven by an unquenchable thirst for glory, chose the former. He would sail to Troy, knowing he would never return, but his name would forever be immortalized in legend. With his heart brimming with valor and his fleet of 50 ships, Achilles and his warriors, the Myrmidons, set sail for Troy. Their voyage was marked by numerous challenges, but none more critical than their encounter with the Mysians, who fought them in a bloody battle in Mysia. It was there that Achilles' spear struck the Mysian king Telephus in the thigh, setting off a chain of events that would bring him back to Greece for a crucial moment in the war. Before reaching Troy, however, the Greek fleet was delayed by a malignant wind, which the prophet Calchas revealed could only be quelled if Agamemnon, the Greek commander, sacrificed his daughter Iphigenia to the goddess Artemis. Torn between his love for his daughter and the war effort, Agamemnon was forced to deceive Achilles into thinking that Iphigenia was promised to him as a bride. When Achilles learned of the deceit, he was furious but vowed to protect Iphigenia. The sacrifice of the innocent princess became a tragic prelude to the horrors of war. The Greeks finally arrived at Troy, and the Trojan War began in earnest. Achilles, the greatest warrior among them, led the Myrmidons with unmatched ferocity. However, a quarrel with Agamemnon over the captive priestess Briseis, a beautiful woman Achilles claimed as a prize, would ignite his legendary wrath. Agamemnon, insulted by Achilles' refusal to return her, took Briseis as compensation. Achilles, dishonored, withdrew from battle, leaving the Greek forces vulnerable. His absence created a void that the Trojans, emboldened by his departure, sought to exploit. As the Greeks faced dire straits, Agamemnon sought Achilles' return, offering riches and compensation, but Achilles, though tempted, refused. The Trojan forces, led by Hector, began to gain ground, and in an act of selflessness, Achilles' dear friend Patroclus begged to wear Achilles' armor and lead the Myrmidons into battle. With great sorrow, Achilles agreed, but Patroclus met a tragic fate at the hands of Hector, who slew him in single combat. Consumed by grief and rage, Achilles sought new armor from his mother Thetis, who appealed to the gods. The divine blacksmith Hephaestus crafted armor so magnificent that it seemed to gleam with the power of the gods. Clad in this new armor, Achilles returned to the battlefield with a renewed thirst for vengeance. His wrath, unleashed once more, led to a showdown with Hector, Troy's greatest hero. The two warriors clashed in a battle that would decide the fate of nations. Achilles emerged victorious, but his victory was marked by brutality as he desecrated Hector's body, dragging it behind his chariot around the walls of Troy. Achilles' wrath, however, was not without consequence. Moved by the grief of Priam, Hector's father, who ventured into the Greek camp to retrieve his son's body, Achilles allowed the Trojan king to mourn his fallen son with a proper burial. In a moment of shared humanity amidst the horrors of war, Achilles' heart softened. Yet the war raged on, and Achilles would face more battles, including a tragic encounter with Penthesilea, the Amazon queen, whom he killed in combat. A moment of pity stirred within him as he gazed upon her lifeless form, and he began to question the nature of war. As the tide of battle turned in the Trojans' favor, Achilles was confronted by an unexpected enemy, Paris, the Trojan prince. Guided by the god Apollo, Paris fired a deadly arrow that found its mark in Achilles' only vulnerable spot. His heel. The once invincible hero fell, his life slowly draining away, leaving behind a legacy that would become the stuff of myth. Achilles' death sparked yet another conflict among the Greeks. His legendary armor became the subject of fierce debate, with Odysseus and Ajax each claiming it as their own. The decision was made, but it led to tragedy, as Ajax, consumed by rage, killed himself after realizing that he would not receive the armor. Thus, the Saga of Achilles, a tale of divine lineage, heroic feats, wrath, and tragedy, came to a close. His name, however, would echo through the ages, his story told and retold for generations to come. If you found this story as fascinating as we did, don't forget to like this video and share your thoughts in the comments below. And for more captivating tales of myths and legends, hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell. Until next time, this is When Myths Come Alive, bringing the legends of old back to life.